From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons LALATE, and tonight we go over two new stimulus checks announced. They're in addition to the 7 stimulus checks that became law last week, and the 3 stimulus checks in the month of March. We're now up to 12 fourth stimulus checks. We have the breaking news tonight on this major recording. Plus, we'll go over to that earnings recession. More numbers coming in, and they were not particularly good. We'll go over what they were and what to expect. Big week underway, and that big week got more housing data today. It was the home prices that fell dramatically, the largest drop since 2011, and also the new home starts. Wow, we're going to go over the latest details on your benefit raises. And then we go over to something that's a big surprise as one viewer becomes yet again a double hawk. And I have a new feature on this channel for double hawks. We'll have that coming up in the latest recording. But boy, this is really exciting. We have gone from 4 stimulus checks on this channel month of March to then 10 yesterday, and tonight 12 stimulus checks in every U.S. state as far as stimulus. We got the 2 new checks. They are L and M coming up later in tonight's recording. Plus, of course, the major story that we knew was going to happen, and we knew it was happening today. We knew the amounts. We knew everything about it. Student loan debt forgiveness. We'll go over the latest details on that student loan debt forgiveness announcement from the president. But more importantly, what should you know about the tax implications of it? And also, is there just another wrinkle to the number? There is. We'll go over the latest details, and this is not stuff you're going to see normally in a single broadcast. Plus, we'll go over everything you need to know going into tomorrow, because tomorrow is those unemployment claims coming in on a Thursday morning. And then we'll go over why the pending home sales numbers fell today, why the home prices fell dramatically, and what this means for you and money. Plus, I'll have my commentary later in this recording about student loan. Yes, you've heard a lot of commentary about this, but you have a take on it you haven't heard before. It's coming up from me later in this recording. Plus, a shout out to Lorraine, whose birthday is today. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, big money has now 12 stimulus checks. I'm trying to keep track of them. 12 stimulus checks are featured on this channel. It's from 4 stimulus, the big news, the big money, the big breaking details heat up today on a massive afternoon's broadcast. We haven't had a recording this big in a long time. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, let's get to the money. Let's get to the breaking news. It all starts right here, right now on Afternoons. And good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a big week and hope you're having a beautiful day. It is in August 24, 2022. From the shores of Santa Monica, we knew it was going to be a big week, but we had no idea that today would be such a blockbuster of a day. We go over a lot in today's recording. Your money, those new items across the board, new stimulus of the housing market, big data, benefit raises, 12 new checks, and also the latest details on the big question marks across the board on inflation. You want to become a member, go right in this video, become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP, and get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I give a shout out to the new members of LALATE 3 that joined overnight, Teddy, Lava, Candy, Terry, and Kiwanis. And congratulations to Candy Gamez, who became the first double hawk on this channel in the last 24 hours. She's now the second double hawk report on this channel. But could she become the first triple hawk? Maybe she already is. We'll have more about that later in this recording. We start, of course, tonight with the major detail that came in on the housing market. Housing market, you already know, is in recession, but today we had very, very weak numbers. We had 2 numbers that came in today. Home prices fell dramatically, the largest decline since 2011. Ouch. And then also we had the another data point we don't always have on this channel. pending home sales, these are homes that are about to go into contract. Both of these numbers showed dramatic weakness. First, let's go over to the home prices. They fell dramatically. Largest drops of 2011. They declined month to month compared to the month of June by 0.77, so less than 1%. But that's the first month of decline in 3 years. Oh my goodness. Yeah. This according to Black Knight, a mortgage software company. The drop is not particularly significant, but it's the first one in 3 years. And guess what? We've never seen a drop since January of 2011. And also July is the worst month of prices for homes since 1991. Oh boy. Let's jump into the data. First, housing is less affordable now than it has been in nearly 30 years. And then when you look at the decline of the prices, this is the prices of the homes, the actual price of the homes selling. San Jose was the largest drop, down 10% in recent months. Seattle down 7.7%. San Francisco down 7.4%. San Diego 5.6%. Here in Los Angeles down 4.3%. And Denver plummeting 4.2%. This is, again, the price of the homes selling. Home prices are still up compared to the year before, but this is a dramatic drop in just a short period of time. Now, another data that was released today is just about as bad across the board as well, and that is pending home sales. Pending home sales, which is basically homes that are going under contract, they've not sold yet, dropped an astronomical 20% in the month of July, 19.9% compared to the year before. Wow. And why is this? Because mortgage rates are now at the highest level of in recent memory. They're 54% in just 1 year alone, says the National Association of Realtors, who commented about the news of today. Remember, they are the organization who said you're in a housing recession. And the person who made that comment was its chief economist, Lawrence Yun. Again, I feature him tonight. He says we may be closer to the bottom of the contract signings. This month's very modest decline reflects the recent retreat of the mortgage rates. Inventories are growing. That's not good. It means homes are not selling in the upper price range, but limited supply at the lower price range is hindering transactional activity. Let's jump into some of the data. Northeast, pending home sales down 2%. This is for the month, but down 15.4% for the year. 15.4% for 1 year? Wow. And then on the Midwest, 1 month, 2.7%, yearly down 13.4%. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Really shocking. The South saw a massive decline of 20% compared to last year. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And then the West, which not the Southwest, but the actual West, showed a annualized drop of 30.1%. Whoa, my goodness. Really, really surprising. Let's go into those earnings numbers from those corporations. We're almost at the really end of the second quarter of those corporate earnings, but now we're getting guidance for the rest of the year. And those corporate earnings are really not particularly that good. What do we have so far tonight on those corporate earnings? Well, let's jump into them right now. Bed Bath & Beyond did not report today, but the stock was up 14% when they indicated they got a new retailer. A new retailer to secure financing for them. Peloton may be getting some great reprise as they are getting a deal with Amazon to feature some of its products on the platform. Its stock is up 18%. Nordstrom's is a real shocker. In fact, I featured Nordstrom's yesterday. Boy, I got this wrong. Remember what I said yesterday? I said Macy's beat because, you know, it's a back to work play. You've been in lockdown, you need that nice suit, you need those nice shoes. And Nordstrom's beat in first quarter, Macy's beat in first quarter. So when Macy's reported yesterday, really big beat, I said, well, of course Nordstrom's going to beat. And no, it didn't. Nordstrom's missed. In fact, it guided down for the rest of the year today, and that's why that stock was down for 18%. So they're actually guiding downward for the rest of the year. Shocking. Petco down 7%, and Intuit up 4.6%. The other major story, of course, breaking news today, as you expected it to happen, was the student loan debt forgiveness. Student loan debt forgiveness came in exactly as expected. I'll have that data in just a second. The cruise stocks really surged dramatically today because the industry is just doing really well. Carnival, Royal Caribbean, and also Norwegian were up about 7, 6, and 4.5% respectively. All right, so let's jump into that major story we all knew was going to happen. We all knew the amount of it. We also knew that it was brewing, and I was the first to really report it. Back in the month of February, I reported that the president had determined he was going to make an announcement at some point in the future of a $10,000 student loan debt forgiveness for individuals who make $150,000 or less. I said he had made that determination, that anything that Chuck Schumer or Liz Warren advocated for, anything that nonprofit or private organizations advocated for, he was not going to do. He was going to do 10,000 for 150,000 or less. It initially looked that he was going to roll this over to the fall to make the announcement, and then the White House confirmed the announcement yesterday, and then NBC announced the amount as though they had exclusive. They did not. I've been reporting this amount since February. Ridiculousness. So here was the announcement made by the president today. There's three parts to it. First, individuals who make 125,000 or less, so it's a little bit less than I had reported. I said it was 150 or less. It's 125 or less. He's forgiving 10,000. Families, married couple, it's a 250,000 or less. He's forgiving 10,000. And here was the one item we didn't know he was going to say. If you had a Pell's grant, then he's going to forgive $20,000. So $20,000 for Pell's Grant students across the board if you qualify under those income thresholds. Now, here's some of the details you need to know that you're going to have to see anywhere else because this is really important. Is the forgiveness of student loan debt a taxable event for purposes of your state taxes or state, not estate, state, S-T-A-T, or federal taxes? The answer is it's too hard to tell. You need to go to a tax preparer. Generally, the forgiveness of federal loans will not trigger a federal tax because that's what Liz Warren and Chuck Schumer got passed. But you still want to check on it because it's very, very confusing. And it certainly will actually potentially trigger a state tax. Mark Krantowitz, who is an education expert, I've featured on this channel for many, many years, really says, look this up. Go to an advisor, tax advisor, because you really do not want to miss the bill. It may be equivalent of several student loan payments, that tax bill. So go to that advisor. In the second half of this video, I'll go over my commentary about this big money across the board. Wow. Now let's jump over to your raise of your benefits. Your raise of your benefits are getting that huge lift. And that huge lift is law. That huge lift is law. We're not guessing on this. It's not speculation. It's actually law. And that calculation is gauged based upon what inflation's doing. So certainly we saw the housing data in this recording that shows the housing is softening. Is that an indication of inflation softening? Well, let's go over the details first right now. At issue is your benefits. Let's understand the benefit raise part of it, and then we'll go over into the inflationary situation. Your benefits are going up, definitely going up. The question is how much? Some of you 5,000, some of you less, some of you more than 5,000. And what's at issue is really where is inflation over the next 2 months? We had one data for inflation last week. We're waiting for 2 months thereafter. Let's go over what has happened. Back in the month of May, the Consumer Price Index, what you pay for products, the Consumer Price Index, CPI, was released, and it was really too high. It was really out of control. It surged to an 8.6% print, astronomical, but it got even higher the month after that. What happened? May came in at 8.6%. Then June, in the month of July, was released. And what was that June number? Wow. A whopping 9.1%. That means your benefits are going up a lot. Now, we needed 2 more months of data. We watched in July as the June data came in, and what happened? The Consumer Price Index beat. The PPI beat, how much the wholesaler pays for the products. And the retail sales numbers beat. Let's go over what that data is showing us tonight and what you should expect in the next few weeks. So we're waiting for 2 more months of data because this is how your benefits are calculated. Your benefits are tied to something called COLA, cost of living adjustment, and it's determined by 3 months of one data, the CPI-W for July released last week, August 10th, and then the August data released September 10th, the September data released October 10th. If that CPI remains where it is, it goes higher, your benefits are going up astronomically. We'll go over how much in a second. Even if that CPI eases off a little bit, your benefits are still going up an enormous amount. So last week we wanted to see that CPI, and what happened? It cooled off about a half a percentage point in the headline number, but the component parts were up month to month. Real wages up, rent up, food, milk, and egg up. And then gasoline was down. That's why it pulled off across the board. But tonight, what are going on with those component parts, what you've seen in inflation, and what are the actual data points? First, if you remember this channel, which I hope you are, you've gotten that membership newsletter. The first line is gasoline. Yes, the price of gasoline, AAA national average in the United States, is down every single night on the channel from now $3.90 to $4.99 to $4.90 to almost $4.88 overnight. But the international price of Brent crude is going up, and I told you it would. It was 92 last week. I think that's the lowest number we've had since March. It went to 98 last night. It went to almost 100. So it has really moved up really quickly. Expect gasoline to go up in the States as well. Milk and eggs not going down. Salary is not going down. The rent, well, there is some indication that maybe it's softening a little bit. But if you believe these component parts are still staying where they are, then the benefits are going up a lot. Ultimately, we need to see that CPI for the month of August released in September, and September released in October 10th. But we have the Personal Consumption Expenditure Index released in just a few days from now. The housing data released daily on this channel. And other indications you and I can see that give us a gauge of how much your benefits are going up. Let's go over the amounts right now, and let's go over the predictions and my analysis starting right now. When you look at the situation, some people will have a $5,000 lift. Some of you will have less, and some of you have more. You, if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security Rural Benefits, 3 months of data, July, August, and September. And yes, direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. You don't have to do anything. It's incredible. What are some of the analysts saying? The Seniors League, when I look at that CPI last week of the first of 3 months, 8.5%, said that they think your benefits would go up 10.1%. It basically stays the same. Do I think it's staying the same? I don't think so. I think it's going up a little higher. Jump in the live chat. Do you think it's going up a little higher? I think it is as well. I really do. The component parts and certainly the gasoline. If you believe it's staying the same or going a bit higher, then you believe your benefits are going up even more. Wow. Incredible news across the board. It's a day like this that's just so much going on. Student loan debt forgiveness featured on this channel since this February. The president announcing basically exactly what I said in that announcement today. Number two, recession. In February this year, I said the economy is going into recession. It is in recession as 2 negative quarters of GDP growth were posted after June 31st. Number three, inflation persisted and not yet going down. Inflation has been tracking at 8% plus since January. Spring of 2021, I misspoke there. Spring of last year, I said inflation was going to come in at 8% in December and stay around and not go down. The Federal Reserve said no. It said it was going to be temporary, transitory. That was wrong. And said that they were going to get inflation down by interest rate spikes in consecutive rate hikes starting in fall of last year and early this year. Has it worked? No, it's not worked. And here what you need to know is what the Fed governor said. The Fed governor said, we're doing interest rate spikes similarly to what we've been doing recently, which have been 75 in June and 75 in July, until we get inflation down to our target of 2%. It's pretty obvious what they're saying. They're back in September, so they're saying they're going to do another interest rate spike, basically what they did before, 75 basis point, and until they get inflation to 2%, it doesn't get to 2%. It does not get to 2% in 1 month. It takes several months. What did Wall Street say all this month until this last Monday? They were saying that the Federal Reserve is going to do one interest rate spike and be done in September. The Federal Reserve is going to pivot. The Federal Reserve is going to stop doing the interest rate spikes. The Federal Reserve is going to stop doing it around October. I said, I'm really worried about them saying that because it's wrong. Fed governors have actually told you what they're going to do. And if you're not embedding the risk into the markets that the rate hikes are going to continue after September, then stocks will crash. And guess what happened? On Monday, stocks crashed. The stock market fell 650 points on Monday. On Tuesday, it was down 100 points again, 150. Why? Because analysts now realize that they really misspoke. They really misguided it. They took the words of the Fed governors and threw it out the water. Fed governors have said in the last 2 weeks, whether it's Bullard, Daly, or Bale or Bowman, that we're doing a certain thing, and the Wall Street analysts said, no, we're just going to ignore those comments. Well, I said when you don't embed the risk into the market, stocks crash, and that's what happened Monday. That's what happened Tuesday. Why? They're waiting for Jay Powell's conference this Friday at Jackson Hole, in which the federal governors, President Jay Powell, will speak. And he's likely to say exactly what you and I know he's going to say, what I've been predicting, and what the Fed governors have said he's going to say. We're going to have similarly situated rate hikes continuing in September and until inflation gets to 2%. Pretty obvious, don't you think? And that we're going to stay with that until we get inflation to our target of 2%. Pretty obvious. And that's why the bonds have surged. That's why the stocks have fallen, because the stock market got it wrong, bond market got it right. And the reason why gasoline's tracking higher tonight is because the full capacity was there in June, but not going to stay at full capacity. Capacity is going to drop, full production is going to fall as the winter months come on, and also the demand is going to surge. Less production, more demand. That is an ingredient for surging gasoline prices. That's what's happening slowly tonight across the board. Wow. I'm so excited for you. I really am. I'm especially excited for my second Double Hawk member. And the question tonight is whether she's a Triple Hawk member. Well, I got a new surprise for you. If you become a Double Hawk or a Triple Hawk on this family of broadcast channels, I'll give you a shout out on camera. Her name is the wonderful, wonderful Candy Gamaz with an A. Candy Gamaz became a Purple Hawk overnight by becoming a member of LALATE 2 and LALATE 3. Now, the big question mark tonight is whether she's a member of LALATE 1, the original channel, which you may be watching right now. Candy, if you are, send me a private message on facebook.com/LA News, because I'm going to give you a massive shout out if you are. Meantime, anyone else, if you become a Double Hawk, send me a message on social media, facebook.com/LA News, and I'll give you a shout out on air if you become a Double Hawk. The question is who's going to become the first Triple Hawk. Incredible, great news across the board. I'm so excited for you. In the big second half, we're going to go over all these incredible four stimulus checks. The now two new checks, Check L and Check M, that became law. And they're in every U.S. state. They are so darn exciting. The incredible checks E to K. You see how I'm trying to remember all this? It's a lot to remember. That became law 2 weeks ago. And the first checks A through C that became law in March. Incredible money. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of checks. And these are categories of checks. They're not individual checks. These categories of checks are pulling and producing about 100 to 200 check opportunities for you. We're going to go over those incredible checks in the big second half. What do? You become a member of this incredible family of channels. Go in this video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. And in the big second half, we're going to go over all these incredible checks one at a time. It's a big day, and there's so much excitement across the board. I'll see you back in 60 seconds as America's most loved show of the midday continues. It's Afternoons LA for a gorgeous afternoon. See you back in 60 seconds as all the news continues from the shores of Santa Monica, California on Afternoons. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now in a big second half of Afternoons LALATE. Yes, new checks, more checks featured on this channel, and they start right now in the big second half. We had 3 checks in the month of March. Then we added 7 checks 2 weeks ago. And tonight, 2 new checks on top of that. It's now 12 categories of checks in a week in which we're just getting started. So much money across the board. In this big second half, we're going to go over these 12 categories of checks. Then I'll give you my commentary on the student loan debt forgiveness, and we'll be looking forward to what's happening tonight on a big Evenings LALATE. The breaking news starts right now. Your economy, your recession, your inflation, your benefit raise, and your housing market. Plus, the latest details on your forced stimulus start right now in the big second half. It's Afternoons LALATE for a big, bold, beautiful day. How are you? Hope you're having a beautiful day today from the shores of Santa Monica, California. Wow, really exciting. 3 categories of forced stimulus checks March. 2 weeks ago, 7 new categories added. Tonight, 2 more categories added. It's now 12 categories of forced stimulus checks, and those 12 categories reveal about 200 opportunities of different checks. And that is just incredible. We're going to go over the first 3 categories starting right now. They are Check A, Check B, and Check C. Everything you need to know about those checks. Let's pull up a graphic so you understand the first 3 checks, where they came from, and why they're so incredible. These first 3 checks became law in the month of March. It's about $100,000 of 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state's federal stimulus. It's from the federal government. It's about $100,000 paid by the federal government, not from your state, not paid by your state, not sent by your state, from the federal government. And it's done by executive action. A series of checks A, B, and C passed by the President of the United States in the month of March, executive action, and you qualify. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. If you rent, if you don't, if you're on benefits, if you're not on benefits, go get it. How do you get it? You become a member. Go under this video, join the channel. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Become a member and get these incredible checks starting right now with me as we go over Check A, Check B, and Check C. Check A is a $6,500, $12,000 forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. If you're on benefits, go get it as well. How do you get it? You go into this video and become a member. Join this channel. Then go under the video and join the channel. Did I say that? Yeah, I just put up the wrong graphic. Here's the right graphic. Go under the video and join the channel. Then get that membership newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alerts. Go down to Check A. Click the link. It sends you into the nationwide website. Choose your state. Choose the weatherizing grant and go get it. This is a check that Spelly got. And then we go to Check B. $15,000 to $80,000 of forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Go into this video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Don't forget to also subscribe, and also don't forget to hit the alert button to set us all to notifications on. Then when you get that membership newsletter Monday through Friday, go down to where you find Check A. Then after Check B, there's Check B. There it is. Click the link, go right into Check B, choose your state, and go get it. And this is a check that one viewer guide to 80 to 100 checks. We'll go over her story in just a second. But look at that. Check B, $80,000. Check A, $12,000. We've already covered $100,000 right there. You're not done there yet. You're going to go get Check C. It's for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. We've been getting Check C's on this channel for a long time. How do you get it? Go under this video, join the channel, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Get the membership newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, via the YouTube alerts. Please watch that says Pacific Standard Time. It's so strange that people still send me messages saying Time has passed. I haven't got to it. I said, what time zone you in? Oh, I'm Eastern Standard Time at 7 o'clock. No, it's Pacific Standard Time. I just want to have a blinking red light that says Pacific Standard Time. Pacific. Oh, you're not on the same time zone? I didn't know there's different time zones in America. Okay, that's another channel that teaches you time zones in America. I'm not teaching that on the channel. I just assume that you know there's different time zones in America. Go after this video and subscribe. Then become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP, to where you find Check C, and that tells you who to call, what to say, and how to say it. Check C is a categories of checks. Check B is a categories of checks. And as to Check C, viewers have getting big sums of money on this channel since 2020 because of the residue of third stimulus. Do you want these numbers for rent? Then go get Check C from Nisi all the way up to Elizabeth, 30,000. Incredible. Do you want these numbers for utilities? Then go get Check C. Mark's brother-in-law actually got more, 15,000. And then that same brother-in-law got $250,000 over 10 years for SNAP. What about combinations from Nisi all the way up to Nancy? Incredible, but they grew more ever since. Nisi ever since went from 23,000 to 50,000. Mark went from 32,000 to 166,000. Here's a 50. Then Mark went to 100. Then he got Check B, 166. Congratulations and happy birthday to Lorraine. Birthday wishes to her, and congratulations because she was at 105. She went to 150. Incredible. Just incredible. And that is a true testament to the Purple Power spirit. That is Check A, B, and C. How do you get it? Become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP under the video. Join the channel. Then get that newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Deliver via the YouTube alerts and go get Check A, B, and C passed by the President of the United States in the month of March by executive action. 2 Sundays ago, Congress passed a law, and that law established Check E to K. And let's go over Check E to K. How do you find out about those E to K? They're all in the membership newsletter. Download pass Check C. And here's E to K. $7,500 is Check E. Check F is $4,000. Check G, 30% off. Check H is a whopping $2,000. Check I and J are both $8,000, and Check K is $14,000. Incredible. Go get some E to K checks in the membership newsletter from members Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And starting tonight for August 24th, 2022, your membership newsletter will now feature 2 new checks. And those 2 new checks, there's a lot to keep track of on this recording, is checks L and M, as in money. Larry and money. Or L like lots and M like money. Lots of money. Check L and M. Okay, so these are really great checks. Wow. They are not, L and M are not from the federal government. They're from your states, but they are, and you're going to have a link to a map on this one in the newsletter. They are really in basically every state. I clicked on a lot of states in this map, and I stopped clicking because they all had it. What are they? They are for the home. So Check L is the following. If you want to buy a home, and I know a lot of people did because we talked about this a lot when they had this in a particular bill, they are going to give you, in most states, some states is a lot more, but in most states, the average is $100,000 for the purchase of a new home, loan interest free. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you heard that right. About $100,000 loan interest free. And this is absolutely incredible. It's generally for low to moderate income earners. So you don't have to be just low income earners. Sometimes it's moderate income earners. What is Check M? Like money. On top of Check L, which we just went over, they will also give you free money. You don't repay it. It's free money for about $4,000 in closing costs to buy the home. Because when you buy the home, you have closing costs. They give you about $4,000 to buy a home. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Check L and M are incredible. And there you go. Boy, that's a lot. Do you feel spent? You know the expression spent. It doesn't mean you spent money. It means you're just exhausted. That's a lot. I mean, why would you watch anyone else but me? That is 12 checks in just, 3 minutes. 12 checks in 3 minutes. And this is just incredible. Go under the video, subscribe. You want to be part of this incredible family. Number 2, go under the video and join the channel. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Get that membership newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alerts. I have promised you, Mac, in the month of March, I'm going to find you more than 3 checks. Well, obviously I did. We've gone from 3 checks to 10 checks and now 12 checks. And boy, this is why you want to be a member. This is why you want to stay a member. If you become a member, if you are a member at any time after, or at the time of today's broadcast of August 24th or any time thereafter, you now have access to the 12 checks. The 12 checks were not around in prior recordings. Wow, incredible, great news across the board. What are we looking at tomorrow? Tomorrow, we're looking at going back in focus. Tomorrow, we're looking at the big news for the situation of unemployment. The unemployment claims were released Thursday morning, and I'm believing that the unemployment claims are likely to track higher or at least stay the same or around the same number. We'll have the latest details on that today. Number 2, this is what's so important, is that there's so much stimulus out there. There's so much stimulus out there, and it's very lazy to think it's not out there. It's very lazy for a publication like a USA Today to say there's no money out there, when I just went over 12 whopping checks. I mean, these are just astronomical sums of money. And that it really takes a level of diligent reporting to find the money for you, and it requires a diligence by you. On Sunday, the Energy Secretary appeared on broadcast media and said, hey, you want money for this? Go get it. If you want money for this, go get it. We'll pay for it. She said 4 times in a row, if you want it, we'll pay for it. That means you have to come asking for the money. They're not going to send out the money for you unless you bounce and get the money. The expression purple hawks, purple power, purple pounds, purple family, people are asking in the live chat where that expression came from. Let's recap. In 2020, when this channel launched, I was wearing a particular purple shirt a lot. And people said, you like that purple shirt? And I'm like, no, it's good for lighting. And then I wore a brown shirt. And because of the lighting, people thought that was purple. And I just kept my mouth shut because I'm like, okay, purple's better than brown. And then there was a black shirt I wore, and for some reason, the lighting made it look like it was purple as well. So people just thought I was wearing a lot of purple. And I'm like, okay, I'll just keep my mouth shut. It's brown, it's purple, and it's black, but it's all coming up as purple. That was when the show was shot outside. And they said, Mr. Purple. They referred to me as Mr. Purple. I said, well, you have the power. You have the purple power. You can go do this yourself. And this was basically describing getting money. I said, I'm teaching how to get the money, but you got the power to go get it yourself. You have the purple power. Go get it. And that is where purple power was created and birthed in this channel, the purple power family. Days went on, and when money started to run out, in the case of the EIDL grant, opening and closing, PPP, another round, opening, closing. A lot of things were opening, closing. They weren't around very long. I say you have to pounce. You have to pounce like a hawk because the money's not there indefinitely. You have to go get it as quickly as available. And then I paused. I said, like a purple hawk. You have to pounce like a purple hawk. You have to get it as quickly as the money is available. That's what birthed the expression purple hawk. Everything about this channel has always been about you doing something. It started with EIDL. You were applying for the EIDL. You were doing something, but you were having problems with the application. I was helping you through it. Unemployment stimulus, small business assistance. There was always something you were doing something with to get. You were pouncing on, but you need assistance with. Along the way, we had a person we created on this channel called the Donut Guy. The Donut Guy was to describe someone who doesn't do anything. Lazy. I have no qualms calling that guy lazy. He's lazy. He doesn't do anything. He stands in the mailbox and waits for money to land. And there was nothing like that for him in first stimulus. Second stimulus never became law. And when third stimulus started heating up in 2022, he just sort of came around out of nowhere and said, I'm just lazy. I just want to see something in the mailbox. There's still some residue of that donut guy somewhere left and right. He's not a purple hawk. He's not a member of the purple power family because we understand that's not how big money is achieved. No one's going to send you $100,000 from the federal government just because you have a donut in your hand. What type of donut gets you $100,000 in the mailbox? It's not going to happen. And so I trained you really well in December 2020 to go get rent and utilities, even when there wasn't a lot around, 250,000. Then when it became law in the third stimulus, we came back and get a lot of money. Now it's 2 years later, and viewers are having big success stories. And one of the reasons is this, the membership newsletter. And also this, the worksheets. The worksheets is also one of the benefits of being a member. The worksheets are a series of pages in a PDF delivered to you as a member in the membership newsletter. In the membership newsletter, nightly, around the fourth or fifth line, before you get to check A, B, and C, is this. It's a PDF. You can print it out or download it on your phone. And it really helps you keep track of your checks. Now you realize there's nearly 200 checks to apply for. I mean, there's a lot of checks, 12 categories of checks now with 3 in March. Now there's 12 categories of checks. And let's go over those categories of checks right now before we go over the worksheets. A is really one check. Check B is really 80 possible checks. Check C is really 80 possible checks. E to K is really basically one check as I see it at the moment. That's 10 checks. And then L and M, well, M is a lot of checks because you have a lot of different closing costs. So yeah, look at that. That's about 200, maybe almost 300 possible checks. That's why you need the worksheets. All right, let's go through the worksheets. Page 1, inflation. What did we learn tonight? Well, we did not learn anything real newly about inflation today, but we did earlier this week when Citibank had the report out that said the inflation in Europe, British, UK is likely to go to 18% in January. Oh my goodness. How is J Powell getting inflation to 2% if England's going the other direction? Interesting. Recession. What did we learn about recession today? We had the housing data. Really 2 data points today, really weak. That's because of recession. Labor. Tomorrow we have the new jobless claims. Do you believe it's going to go up or down or about the same? This is a hard one. I know I'm going to get it wrong, so I don't know. I was really whacked with this for so long. I had a 200 right, I had a 230 right, I had 260, and then I said I was going to 265. I had it wrong. Do you believe the jobless claims are going to go back to 260 or 265, or do you think they're going to go the other direction? They were 250 last week. I'm going to say 250 again. I just know I'm going to get it wrong. Federal Reserve. This is why Wall Street crashed on Monday. I said, and I was the only guy that's saying it. I'm still the only guy that's saying it. Only analysts, only broadcasters saying it. The Federal Reserve is going to do 75 basis point interest rate spikes September to December because it's going to take that many spikes to get inflation down to 2%. It's not going to work with 50 basis point, and I think they're going to spike into 2023. The next page of the worksheet is the big winner. Oh my goodness. Last Saturday, one viewer got 14 checks. That same day, 2 days earlier, a viewer got 14 months of checks. Day before that, a viewer got 12 months of utilities. So you see what's going on? People are getting 14 months of rent, 12 months of utilities. Speller got check A and C, and one viewer got 80 checks. She had used the second page and filled it out. She just forgot she looked at it. And then two Thursdays ago, she got a message from the state of Florida. Ma'am, you got to prove a check B. Great news. For what? Mortgage. Oh, 1 month? No, 18 months. 18 months? That's a lot of money. Well, she also applied for all her utilities. If her utilities are 4 bills per month, 4 plus the mortgage, that's 5 bills per month times 18 months. Yes, that is a whopping 80 to 100 checks. Incredible. The next page of the worksheets is your raise of your benefits. We'll have more about that tonight on evenings. And the page after that is gasoline. I'll have more about that tonight on evenings. Again, the gasoline has tracked higher. That sounds like Brett Hume. No, Brett Crude. That doesn't, yeah, this sounds like, anyway. The price of gasoline is tracking higher, 100, and then student loan debt forgiveness. You saw the breaking news on that earlier today. I will recap student loan debt forgiveness, I think maybe 1 or 2 more days on this channel, but the story has basically concluded. The president already forgave student loan debts for individuals who make $150,000 for individuals who became disabled after graduation. People went to work in the nonprofit or public sector after graduation. People who were defrauded by the universities, and today that final announcement by the White House. If you miss a broadcast, it'll also be now updated in the newsletter, which always had that under, I believe it was 7th stimulus. Finally, my commentary tonight about student loan debt forgiveness. My commentary is a commentary about the commentaries. As soon as the announcement came from the White House, even before the announcement came from the White House, every talking head and their sister and brother was on broadcast media. And I sort of watched it. And I was really bothered by it. I don't think that student loan debt forgiveness is a subject matter that should be debated in the manner in which it has. When people incur debts, everyone has a very personal story. Everyone has a very personal story when you incur a debt. And to impose your story onto someone else, or your lack of a story because maybe you didn't have any student loan debts, on someone else is just horrible. You should not be imposing your story on someone else. If you have a story, I understand what your story. You feel your individual pain, you feel your individual triumph. But to push that narrative onto someone else is just not respectful of other people's feelings. There's a lot of commentary out there tonight, and I'm really just not happy with it on both sides and all parts of the equation. My commentary on the student loan debt forgiveness is this. Education is too expensive. It's way too expensive. And if I was president of the United States, this is what I would do. For a private institution, remember, a private institution, it's a business. It's not run by the state. It's not run by the federal government. It's a private institution. For private universities, they, if I was president, should not be receiving federal monies if their educational student tuition costs are higher than the median level of income in the United States of a particular benchmark. For example, if the median level of household income in the United States is, say, let's say $10 a year, and that university, a private institution, says, we're going to charge your student, your son or daughter, to attend our university for 1 year, $8 a year in tuition costs. And then that same university, as a private institution, is asking for the federal government to give them federal grants to operate. Why? Why should the federal government be giving grants from federal sums to a private institution that is trying to take 80% of the household income of a mom and dad? It's not right. If I was president, I would require, if you want to ask for federal grants from the federal university, you cannot charge tuition costs to an individual student. Even if you're a private institution, if you're asking federal grants, if those tuition costs are higher than a certain level of a benchmark for the national average of household income, I think it's only fair. Then over to the states. I think the states should do much the same thing. States institutions should not be asking for state funds and then turning around and asking for, 40% of the household income from the mom and dad to pay for the kids' tuition per year. The tuition costs are out of control, and that is why today occurred. Tuition that was, at one time $3,000 or $4,000 a semester, then went to $20,000, then it went to $30,000. I don't even know what it is tonight. Is it $40,000 a semester? It's just out of control. That is a problem. And yeah, you cannot regulate how private institutions run themselves. But if you're giving them money from the federal government, the federal government can say, I'm not going to give you money if you have these runaway tuition costs. I don't know why the federal government has never thought about this. It just seems sort of obvious to me. Why is a private institution allowed to really bankrupt mom and dad by taking federal funds from the federal government to also operate? It doesn't make any sense. It just really doesn't look good. And I don't know why no one has ever mentioned this in the discussion of higher education in the American public. Tonight we have a big show on Evenings LA. I'll have more about this commentary than that as well. And we'll go over more about the breaking news on that housing because it is big. Plus, we'll look and see whether there's a triple hawk in the works. Again, congratulations to Danny Kean, who is our second double hawk on the two channels, LA2 and LA3. What are LA2 and LA3? LA2 and LA3 launched last Sunday. They have just one show on them so far. I don't want to confuse you because I asked one of the volunteers. She was even confused. LA2 is about your stimulus. LA3 is about the markets. You need to watch both of them. And Candy Gomez became a member of LA2 and LA3 overnight. Here again on those two channels. I look forward to seeing you tonight on Evenings LA. Don't forget to become a member. And if you become a double hawk, send me a private message on Facebook. I'll feature you on air. The question is who's going to be the first Triple Hawk of this LA family. Become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Powercasting, and VIP. Have a beautiful evening and stay with LA for more. Here is LA 3 and LA 2.